Hey everyone, I'm Jane, and in this video, I thought we would talk about this book, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. I have read it in the past and I recently reread it, so I thought I would give you the gist of it. He starts by asking, if you thought and acted the way rich people act, do you think it's likely that you will become rich too? Because money is a result and health is a result. Neither of these things just happen. It's a result of our actions. So he gives this formula where he says thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to action or inaction, which leads to results. And then he takes it one step further and he says programming leads to thoughts, leads to feelings, lead to action or inaction, which leads to results. People often try to change, and myself included, often try to change the result. Like we try to change the fruit on the tree, but it all happened at the root, right? Which were the programming, the thoughts, and the feelings, and the inaction. That's what led to the fruit that is on our trees. So if we can change our programming, then maybe we can change the result and get the result that we want. Because most of the time we're not making decisions, right? They're just kind of habits and things by default. We're not actually making the choice intentionally. So if we can become self-aware, then maybe we can start making more intentional choices to get the results that we want. He lists 17 different ways that people act and behave and think. And so I thought I would just highlight some of the ways that stood out to me. Have you ever wondered, it looks like you're doing the same activity as somebody else, but they seem to be getting a completely different result than you? Or have you ever seen the result that someone has and you wonder how to get that result, right? What actions do you have to take? So the very first thing he mentions is that rich people, like the mindset of rich people is they think I create life, and poor people, the mindset of poor people think life happens to me. And so the three most common things, or the things that he points at, are that mentally, the mindset of poor people are they're going to blame. And it's blame the government, blame the economy, blame their parents, just blame anyone but themselves, essentially, right? And then justifying, like, well, money's not that important, or like, oh, I don't need money to be happy. And that is true, you don't need money to be happy, but you justify that that's the reason why you don't have it. And complaining about everything that's wrong, right? And complaining, the bad thing about it is we get what we focus on. And so if you're complaining about everything that's wrong in your life, then that kind of gets bigger, right? Another way that the thinking differs is that wealth-minded people are going to become bigger than their problems, and poor-minded people are smaller than their problems. So I'm going to give a video game analogy in this one for my dear husband. So if you've ever played a video game where you had to go on a quest, but you had to be a level 10 to go on this quest, but you're only a level 4 right now. Do you lose all hope? Do you despair? Do you say the game is rigged? No, you go out and you get the experience points or whatever it is that you do to become a level 10 so that way you can go on the quest, right? But what happens in real life? If this quest, if this journey, if this business venture that you're trying to go on is a level 10 and you're level 4, we despair and we say the game is rigged and it's not meant for people like us. But instead, we need to go out and get the experience points. And that's reading the books, talking to other people that have a wider perspective than you do. And it's listening to things that can broaden your mind instead of just staying where we are. So that way we can become bigger than our problems. Because if your problem is a 6 and you're now at a level 10, that problem doesn't seem so daunting anymore. But if you're still at a level 3 and you're facing a problem 6, it seems like there's nothing else that you can do. So we need to change our mindset to become bigger than the problems that we're around. Another mindset thing is that wealth-minded people think both, and poor-minded people think it has to be either or. I don't know if it's just Hollywood or what it is, but it seems like we have to make this decision between being happy and having success financially. And that shouldn't be the case. I don't think you should have to decide to be just happy and broke or just have money and be miserable, because you can be happy, but you can't really pay the electric bill with happiness or love, right? Like you do need money. And so the idea is that you can have both. There's this part in the book, and I'm just going to paraphrase. It says, wealth-minded people think that they can have their cake and eat it too. Middle-class minded people think that, oh, I'll just have a little bit of cake because it's so rich. And poor people think that they don't deserve the cake, so they get a donut and then just focus on why there's a hole. So you can, and if you start to think about ways that you can have both, guess what? It is possible. Another mindset thing is that wealth-minded people think that they're going to play to win, and poor-minded people think that they're going to play not to lose. Poor-minded people want security and safety, and wealth-minded people want abundance and wealth. So I am probably so guilty of this, like more than, I don't know, most people, because for years and years and years, I was like, what's wrong with security? I just want to be comfortable. I just want to not think about money. But here's the problem, is that we're either growing or we're dying. There's very little in between. And I'm going to attempt to make a sports analogy that should work, but it is hard to win a game if all you're doing, if every single strategy that you have is defense, because you're just going to slowly start to lose, right? We need to have an offensive strategy, and we need to make plays to win, to score, to do something more.